Going live. All right, it says we're live.
Does it? I can't see us live.
But it's, I just hit the button.
Oh, right, okay. Still can't see us live.
You should. I see it live.
Why can't I see it live? Why can't I see it?
Let's double check that you have the right link, because I had to put
Okay, yes, alright, fine. I was on the wrong link.
You were on the wrong link.
I was on the wrong link,
I didn't have the right beginning uploaded. I didn't have the right little thumbnail image, so I had to change it. That was my fault.
So, contrary to popular belief, everything is not Finn's fault.
Yes, I was going to say, you cannot blame Finn for this one. This was absolutely 100% me.
So, what's our delay? 19 seconds.
Yeah, normal latency, so it's a little bit of a delay. Hopefully, it won't be too bad.
This is the way.
This is the way.
So yes, I was making giant Jengas earlier on.
You were making what?
Giant Jenga sets.
Okay, very cool.
Because the basement's been refurbed, and I do mean loads, so many offcuts of timber. And instead of just throwing it away and burning it, I made a pile of sizes.
Oh, I see them behind you.
Oh, you see all of the wood there. That's half the pile. I've already turned half of a pile similar to that into two giant Jenga sets. But so I'm making lots and lots of giant Jenga sets, and then I'm going to give them a nice mahogany-looking finish, so that they look like nice dark wood. I've cut them 2 sets, so
and then we'll sell them and buy you a new computer.
No, I will sell them, and it will pay for plane tickets to get my girls here in the summer.
Oh, okay. But we still need to get you a new computer.
To be honest with you, I mean, it's not so much the computer, it's double the RAM. I mean, the PC's fine, it's more a case of a dedicated graphics card and more RAM would work. Because if I doubled my RAM and just got a separate graphics card, it'd be fine. Because the CPU's fine, the quad core's fine. So the CPU is fine, the PC is fine. I've got, good hard drive, good CPU, good motherboard. All of my peripherals are fine. It's just, I'd really like to double the RAM from 6 to 12 and get at least a 2 gig graphics card. 2 gig graphics card, double the RAM. Yeah.
All right. So instead of a brand new computer, we'll get you brand new innards. An upgrade to the innards would be. That will be next month's specialty project. any donations go to get Neil a brand new RAM and a good video card.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 2 gig video cards aren't that bad actually. I think you can get a decent 2 gig video card for about $30-40. So yeah.
Well,
it's just a nice hard drive.
I want you to be able to play Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, you want me to be able to play Jedi Fallen Order? Yeah, so I would need double the RAM. And I would need 2 gig graphics cards to be able to play Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah.
No, all right. So we'll take a look at that.
Okay, we're good. So, shall we go silent since we're?
I think we got a minute to go. Yeah. Let's go radio silent, guys. We'll see you on the other side of the show.
Hi, I'm Timothy Zahn, author of Thrawn, and you're listening to the Escape Podcast. This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
The assault battle's got new tiers, Paul.
Yes, and I am shedding a few tears myself over how hard I got my butt kicked.
I'm confused. Don't you have relic droids?
I don't want to talk about it.
You know this is a talk show, right, dude?
Fine.
Well, how about the Galactic Legends info being released?
I called it that the archetypes were really going to matter.
And you also called that the events would be permanent.
Yes, the Galactic Layaway Plan.
Well, we sit down with another content creator who started a Hyperdrive bundle account.
Oh, you mean that the incomparable CubsFan Han is going to join us for our third segment this week?
And I am going to bend his ear a little about starting over.
Oh boy. Well, and we talk about moving some of our content over to another service in the fourth segment.
But don't worry, we aren't going anywhere. All of this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Escape Pod Cast, episode 50. But it's a very special one today, isn't it, Paul? Why is it so special?
It is special because today is 1 year, actually 1 year to the day that we put this thing together and did a dress rehearsal. And thank you to Scotty McLaren for 1 year ago making this escape, making this dream happen. Neil, thank you for joining me and picking up when Scotty left us. It's been a wonderful, wonderful ride. Thank you so much to every single Padawan out there. You guys are the reason I do this. You guys are the reason that Friday nights are one of my very, very favorite nights of the week.
Yes, it is. It's definitely one of the highlights of the week, without a doubt.
Yeah, it's Scotty's saying, "I look tired. How long did I stay up last night?" Well, we did do our recording with our special guest this week, CubsFan Han. That was let's see. I think we were done at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1. It was
our time.
We were done at 1 our time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1 a.m. Central, we finally got done.
But guys, thank you so much for coming out, joining us live on YouTube. If you have not already subscribed, we're going to say this right now. Hit that subscribe button. That would be the best 1 year anniversary gift to us that you could possibly give us. Is just to subscribe
and hit the like. And have that little notification bell.
For me, the likes and the notification bell, I'm not too worried about those.
You need to hit that notification bell if you want to know when we're going live.
Well, we do a lot of stuff. If you want to know when we're doing something, right up there where it says, escapepodcastaways.com, YouTube, down in the description, we also have the Discord link. That's the main thing to find out what we're doing when we're doing it.
You can find out a lot of what we're about and going to do, will be doing, or are doing at the time by going to Discord for sure. Yeah,
exactly. So, thank you so much to everybody dropping by, and thank you to all the Escape Pod Castaway Content Creator Network for also supporting us. We're glad you're here. Let's get into the news this week.
Yeah, let's get into it.
We had a good amount of information, but what I want to start off with right now, as we let off, assault battles have new tiers,
yes,
including mine.
Yeah, we've got Forest Moon, and what was the other one again?
Pieces of Power.
Pieces of Power, that's it. So we've got Forest Moon and Pieces of Power. They've put in 2 new tiers, calling them Challenge 1 and Challenge 2. Although for Forest Moon, I think it should be something amusing with Tebow in it, because from the looks of it, if you beat Tebow, you do it, and if you don't beat Tebow, you don't do it. But we got the specs on it earlier on this week. It was going to be geared towards Gear 13s and Relic 3, and then Challenge Tier 2 was going to be geared towards more higher Relic tiers. They were it was more towards Relic 5, Gear 13. Right. But once it got released, as is the way, and as what normally happens within the community, the crafters got to work, didn't they? They did. Oh my God! Did the crafters get to work? And
we were told what? Let me pull it up here. Let me find it.
Yeah, well, I mean, within hours of the event going up, there were posts on Reddit of how to beat, maybe not necessarily Challenge Tier 2, but Challenge Tier 1 was definitely busted wide open, and it was busted open with less than what was stipulated as a recommendation. Yes. And I do believe it was a Thrawn lead at Gear 12. It was a BB-8 at Gear 12. It was a Magna Guard at Gear 12. And I think it was the B1 and the B2 were to be Gear 13 and Relic. And the final stipulation, you needed like a a lightning fast B1.
Yeah. Or BB-8.
No, BB-8 didn't. It was the B1 that needed to be lightning fast, so that all of the term meter could be fed to him.
B1 being fast and BB-8 being fast both helped out. But let me read it here. They said for recommendation for Tier 1 was a Relic 3 or higher, and for Tier 2 was Relic 5 or higher. Now, Tier 1 gave you 1/10 of 2 of the Gear 13 finisher pieces. So that's I'm liking this new Assault Battle reward box, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, especially knowing now that you don't need to take 5 characters to Gear 13 Relic 3 in order to achieve the 3 stars and completing the challenge and getting the rewards, which is great news. I mean, it is. It's really, really good news. Most people have already got, BB-8 and Thrawn to Gear 12 because they're decent, they're good characters. They're good plug and play. Most people would use them in territory wars. Most people would use them in territory battles. Most people would use them in GAC. I know I use mine in GAC. So, there's a couple of characters that people probably don't need to do anything to. And then you've got the 3 separatist droids that are going in there. Now, I have seen a couple of variations in there, where one with Grievous in there and one without Grievous in there. But the Magna Guard, the B1, the B2, and Grievous are characters that are good, worthy characters of taking to Gear 13 and relicking. So, based on our conversation a couple of days ago when I first saw the recommendation, not the requirement, the recommendation, I was a little bit miffed, but not too miffed, because most people do go for separatist droids. But knowing now that you don't need to invest so much in characters that we thought we were going to need for it, that's great. I just can't wait for the theory crafting regarding Challenge Tier 2. So I think the impetus, especially regarding the Forest Moon Assault battle, has been on having a character that will taunt, that will survive the Tebow one hit of 100 to 150k. Because if Tebow does take a shot, you need something that's going to be able to survive that.
Yeah. Helenix is saying, guess who didn't get to try the Ewok thing yesterday due to work and other obligations? Helenix, I was right there with you. I got to try it a few times before, everybody started releasing all these things, because I was working on working late doing my trivia night that I do. And then after that, Thursday night, I didn't get a chance to get on it because I was working with you, Neil.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I mean, I didn't bother attempting Challenge 1 or Challenge Tier 2. And I won't bother until I can meet those minimum requirements. And, give it a couple months of this event running, because let's be honest, the rewards are good, but the event needs to run every single month. They need to be running every single assault battle that they're putting these new challenge tiers on every single month to make it truly worth the rewards, because it's a lot of characters and a lot of factions are going to need to be taken to Gear 13 and Relic 3. If it's not similar to the Forest Moon. Fingers crossed, every time they bring out a new assault battle with the grades, with the Challenge 1 and Challenge 2 upgrades, a theory crafter will come along, find a way to do it without requiring 5 Gear 13 characters, post it on Reddit, and then we can all share that. We can all share in the joy of not needing to take as many characters to Gear 13, because it's a heavy investment for a very small amount. It is a heavy investment for a small amount of rewards. So my argument is this is going to be fine, and I'm happy with it, and I think it's good, providing they really do run a lot of assault battles. As long as they run every single assault battle a minimum of once a month. And let's be honest, I mean, they should be doing that anyway, because there's no more legendaries, there's no more heroes' journeys, there's no more of those types of events being thrown into the calendar on a monthly basis, because it's all part of the journey guide now. So they need to fill the calendar with that, with an assault, every single assault battle every single month. And another thing I've noticed about this month is they're running the ship events. They're running the Executrix, the Endurance, and the Home One. All three of them are getting run again this month. So I would like to see all of these smaller events being run every single month now that they've got the journey guide out there, so that we, as a gaming community, can really, really maximize those 1 and 2 day events as much as physically possible.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Tier 2, because good old Maurice is sitting in there from Operation Metaverse, our good friends. Good to see you, good old Maurice.
Tip my hat to you, buddy.
One of the Tier 2 gives you approximately 1/8 of an entire relic from 1 to 7. So, he's saying in the YouTube chat, in the live YouTube chat, that it's not worth hours upon hours of attempts. But honestly, if there are, how many assault battles are there? 6 or 8?
I think there's 8.
Okay,
there?
so if there is,
I think there's 8 assault battles. I'd have to double check.
If you fully complete every single assault battle at Tier 2, you are getting a full 1 to 7. You're getting the full Relic 7 materials right off the bat, every single month, if you are completing every single one. And that saves a lot of farming, Neil.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying this is good. It's worth the investment in the characters necessary to complete Challenge 1 and Challenge 2 of all the assault battles if they run every single assault battle every single month. Because you're going to clock up every single reward from Challenge 1 and Challenge 2, and it makes it worth it. People will be, excited to invest in the characters necessary for that, because they're going to be able to then take, another, maybe a random character, maybe there's somebody in a faction that they'd like to take to Gear 13 and they'd like to put Relic on it, but it's way, way, way too much of a grind, so they just aim for the important ones. This way, with the assault battles, you can get those middling characters. You've got an excuse. You've got a valid reason to work on the higher ones and the middling characters to Gear 13 and Relic, because at the end of every month you're gonna clock in enough to be able to then take another one. So imagine every single month, once you've got everything you need, let's say for argument's sake it takes you a year to take all of the characters necessary for all 8 assault battles to what is required to do Challenge 2. Every single month afterwards, that's the year after, you're taking 12 characters to Gear 13 and relicking them. In the long term, I think it's definitely good and it's worth the investment. And the theory crafting will just get better and better and better every single assault battle that gets released. And like I said, if you're not having to do 5 characters, if you're only having to do 3 out of the 5 or 2 out of the 5, even better. Even better. Yeah, and think about this. The benefits from that then get carried over into other areas of the game. So your territory wars and perfect example, territory battles. Think that we've got the light side geo and we've got the dark side geo requiring to do really, really well and get really, lots of stars. It kind of, you need those characters. So imagine being able to do all of your separatists so that you can do your dark side, and imagine being able to do all of the Jedi and all of the light side necessary, all those Galactic Republic characters, and being able to earn what's necessary to take those characters to Gear 13 and relic them, so that you can then take them into the the GOTB, and everybody's a winner. So like I said, as long as the theory crafters get it right.
Right. And I misspoke. I didn't mean our new friend. I mean, they've been here for a while, but Lazard Sim is saying that if you can do it without Relic 5s, otherwise you're spending 40 times more what you're getting, and it will take 3 years to get it all back. That is very true. But as you're growing, the gap is shrinking, in my opinion.
Yeah, as you're going one way, the end is coming the other direction. I mean, obviously the other end is coming the other direction slower than you're going forwards, but at some point you'll meet in the middle. So it wouldn't technically be 3; it would be maybe closer to, I don't know, maybe 2, maybe 18 months. Who knows?
I was going to say 18 to 20 months. If you're not already there now. Yeah. If you are already there, reverse that. If you're not already there, maybe work on one and then work on another. You're farming that gear anyway, and you're getting that gear anyway in your territory battles and your territory wars.
So, I mean, the separatist droids are required for so they're so you're getting double the value. If it's characters where you're getting double the value, that's good. That's what you want, double the value. And separatist droids, you get double the value. Because you need them for Geonosian territory battle.
You need them for Geonosian territory battle, you need them for your territory wars, you need them for your GAC. You're going after... You get it in GAC, Nev?
Sorry, say that again, mate?
You get some of that in Grand Arena Championships anyway.
Yes.
So you're getting stuff to get to that point. It's not, the sky is not falling as some people want to say.
No, I mean, I've you know me. I've been having a torrid time. Over the last couple of months, I have not been pleased or happy with the way that things have been going at CG and the way things have the way EA has been running things. It's not new content. It's not, because it is reskinned. Challenge 1 and Challenge 2, they're just extra tiers, so it doesn't count as new content as far as I'm concerned, but it does present a new challenge, and a new challenge is always welcome as far as I'm concerned. It's because it's not like when Lightside GOTB came out, it was no challenge, you were just getting mollywopped, that's it, swatted. So there was nothing there, and that's what upset a lot of people in the community, myself included. This is different. It's a new challenge. I mean, it's called a challenge 1 and Challenge 2, but it is a genuine challenge. It's something that, you can work towards, that's simple because it's one squad, and the rewards that you're going to get from building up that one squad for this assault battle, you're going to get then every single month, if they run it every single month. And then obviously the Brucey bonus is, these are characters that you'll then continue to use in Territory Wars, continue to use in GAC, but most important of all, they're ones that you will definitely use in GOTB.
Is there a Geonosian assault battle? I don't think that there is. I think they need to make one.
Make what? A geospace battle?
No, not a space battle, and a geo assault battle. I don't think that there is a Geonosian assault battle.
I mean,
And Geonosians get you Watch Shards.
that'd be nice.
Well, maybe there's a Separatist one. Well, if anybody can recall one that you can use Geos in, let me know.
I'm
is there an
assault battle that requires Separatists? Because most of the assault battles, you're given an option of 2 factions. Like the Forest Moon. The Forest Moon is either droids or Empire. It's a simple, and as much as people, some people have got, Vader relic and some people have got Palpatine relic, but I haven't seen or read or heard of anybody with, Gear 13 Relic 3 Empire, purely Empire, doing it yet. And that's probably because, if you don't keep Tebow under control, he's just going to, you'll get to stage 4 of 8 and Tebow's just going to one-shot everybody. Because no one, I don't believe there are any Empire characters with a health pool over 100k. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm happy to be corrected by somebody in chat. But we know that there are a couple of Separatist droids that do have a health pool over 100k and can survive one hit from Tebow.
So Gubatine says that there's not one for Geos, but you do fight against Separatists.
Yeah.
Also, Laz also chimes in and reminds me that it is also a Zeta producing event, which once again, in something that I talked about long ago, where people who put emphasis on territory battle records, or not territory battle, territory war records, and leave their guild because their guild is not doing so well in territory wars, that's now less than 3.5% of your possible Zetas on your that are on you.
Yeah, I mean, if there's 8 assault battles and you're getting 2 Zeta pieces every single assault battle, that's a lot of extra Zetas a month. It's a hell of a lot of extra Zetas a month.
Exactly. And now
that's
it's
good.
100% on you to go after those Zetas for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
Didn't you have something to announce about? Because we were talking about territory battles, and it's just jogged my memory. I'm sure you had something to say about territory battles. What was it?
I do, but I'm actually going to save that for the other side of this break that we're about to go on.
Okay.
When we come back, we will talk Galactic Legends and everything that was released on that, and I will make a special announcement courtesy of Dark Phoenix Sniper, who has been so gracious to allow me to test this, hint, hint, that you guys are going to want to hear. So, Neil, go ahead and take us to commercial. We'll be right back on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Macias Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Macias will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Macias has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Macias today on Discord at all lowercase Macias number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at maciasmods@gmail.com. Macias Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details.
Hi everybody, this is Scotty McLaren here, and it's time to spend 5 minutes with me on the Escape Podcast. And this week we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary, and who would have thought that we would have got to this point where we're celebrating 12 months of doing this fantastic show. I remember when we first started doing this thing, it was just basically a chat between Paul and myself where we were in CubsFan Han's Patreon channel, and Cubs was egging us on and saying, guys, you need to get together and do something. So we decided to. And see, there was a bit of a niche out there in terms of podcasts, and that's why we decided to do the Escape Podcast. But not only that, it was also because Christy was going through a tough time, and so we thought that we needed Paul to escape from reality. So we called it the Escape Podcast. Well, 31 episodes went by, and in those 31 episodes, we spoke to so many great content creators from the likes of McMole all the way through to Mandalore and even CG Carry, which was episode 16. And I tell you, I can always remember that Carry interview. So many great things that she said to us during that interview. And in fact, a lot of it is still relevant, guys. I'd highly recommend you to go back and revisit that, because during that episode she did say that we're going to be getting Hondo Anaka at some point, also the pirate factions coming, and not only that, we could also see some vehicles coming to the game as well. So some pretty big exclusives that she gave us in that interview with CG Carry, and so many things that are yet to come to this game. So definitely well worth taking another look-see at that one, that CG Carry interview. Now, not only that have we seen so many other great things which have happened, but we've seen Paul Anthony just go from strength to strength. They've now moved to YouTube, and we highly recommend you guys to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure that you get out there and support the Escape Podcast. But not only that, you can also support all of the content creators as well that are a part of the Escape Podcast network, and Heinzie being one of those. Now, that's where you'll usually find me at the moment, coming up with silly little intros and stupid things like that with Heinzie, and we're having a lot of fun over there. CubsFan Han's also still producing some pretty awesome videos as well, so definitely give him a like and subscribe. And Urzatron, who was our very first Patreon, who just continues to go from strength to strength, and everyone loves a bit of Major Tom Urz. Absolutely fantastic. To think that this show has lasted 12 months is an understatement. It just continues to get better and better, and I would like to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all of the support that you've given the Escape Podcast over this last 12 months. Onwards and upwards to Neil Andrew Air, and also to Paul Anthony, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. But in the meantime, I think it's time for me just to push this button over here. I wonder what this button does. No, I'm getting ejected again.
The death of that Scotty clone will be on your hands, you jackasses.
This is Hellenix. Hashtag shameless self-promotion. And you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast, part of the Escape Pod Castaways Network.
And welcome back to the Escape Pod Cast. Now, just before we went to the break, I was asking Paul about some important announcement he's got. So, Paul, take it away.
Yeah, so I was approached along with only 4 other guilds of that use the Swaga Sheets spreadsheet that I literally live and die by every single territory battle, to give to have a chance to beta test some new features. And these are, I'm gonna put it in his words. Let me get the exact way that he wanted me to describe it.
This is an Excel document, isn't it?
This is a Google Sheet.
Oh, it's a Google Sheet.
It's a Google Sheet that it can pull your information from .gg, or if you have API access, it pulls your information from swaga.help. And I subscribe to Help. I cannot recommend using the .help method over anything.
Mm-hmm. I use it for the GAC manager spreadsheet.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
So what is happening here is that a new feature that's currently in beta testing, one of the most highly requested Swaga Sheets feature, is individual direct message assignments with a dedicated bot, Neil.
Ooh.
So I
love bots, and this game would be much harder without bots, but sometimes there's just too many bots. Although it might not be that there's too many bots, it might be that I was running too many accounts, so I would get when you're running 5 accounts, Echo Station bot is like, well,
Echo Station, I like Echo Station, but I like the freedom of the sheet 100% more. And everybody's now commenting in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, spreadsheets.
So, there you go. There's a spreadsheet Benny for you.
I love my GAC manager spreadsheet. I do. I just love that spreadsheet. I do.
Yeah. So, what you can do with this sheet is, let me pull up the list of features that are coming on this. It is, scroll up here. You will be able to enable or disable the slot number selection, so you can see what slot you should put your malloc in if there's 2 mallocs in that same spot. You can have echo-based assignments, or you can have a version that Dark Phoenix Sniper put together. You can do a summary report. You can send a list of users without assignments and say, hey, you guys be generous. I'm Phoenix is back right now in the YouTube chat. I'm talking about your sheet right now, Sniper. And also it can give out a guild message. On top of all this, you can have a private room for this bot to operate in, or you can throw it all in the same spot. Phoenix has done so much great work. I'm going to post, Phoenix, send me on Discord a link to the Sheets server. The bot is not for public consumption yet. We're going to break it. We're going to use it this week.
Yeah, that was a Freudian slip. We're going to break. We're going to use. Not going to break. We're going to use it. Okay.
Yes, and we're testing this out. It's going to be on 5 guilds that are running it this week, including one of the former guests of this show, Okidit, one of my fellow, TB Sith Lords, as we call ourselves, Neil. This is going to be amazing. And by the way, it was an absolute pleasure to also see that our live viewer count did break 50 for the first time, which was great, Neil. Woohoo! Thank you guys for watching this live. Of course, for those listening on the podcast, thank you for subscribing to the podcast version as well. You guys are making this 1-year anniversary so very very appreciated.
50 viewers for the 50th episode.
For the 50th episode, exactly. Now, we were given information about what Galactic Legends are.
And
a
little piece of what's needed.
Let's start with what Galactic Legends are. They're a ultimate version of the They're an ultimate version of Rey and Kylo right now. There's going to be other Galactic Legends.
Jedi
By the way, there's now 7 guilds that are doing this. I'm putting into the live stream right now the link to the Discord server for the sheets if you guys want to look at and see what Pop the Waza and Dark Phoenix Sniper and the entire crew, including Cyber Shark. I mean, we had them on before, and they're wonderful people. Anyway, back to Galactic Legends. So they're also going to have an ultimate, Neil. They're going to have an ultimate like a capital ship. So this is a capital ship style.
It's going to have something that, the cooldown will start. A bit like, I see it being something not entirely dissimilar to Scion's last special. Where it starts off with a long cooldown, but if you make some in battle requirements, you might be able to whittle it down. It still takes a while to get to it though. Yes.
And Nihilus.
Yes.
I mean, Nihilus starts on cooldown too.
Yeah, Nihilus starts on cooldown. So I can see the mechanic working. This final uber power working. Along similar lines to that, but it's going to be a little bit. It's probably going to be better than just, annihilating one person or, creating, a buff on a character that means they instantly come back to life with full health, the moment they die. These Galactic Legends, it's going to be something a little bit more OP than that. But yeah, no. So they've given us three of the prerequisite requirements.
Well, still, there's more. But wait, there's more.
Okay, there's more.
Remember back when we talked about archetypes?
Yes.
Support tank or whatever. Attacker tank and things like that. We're finally going to be seeing those specific stats, which are raised by relics, being buffed by these Galactic Legends. So they buff the team automatically.
Mm-hmm.
They have an ultimate, and I mean, they're going to be super powerful. Now, let's talk about these requirements.
Yeah.
We saw that Galactic Legend Kylo Ren needs, what was it?
Shirtless Kylo. Sorry. Maskless Kylo. First Order Officer and First Order Stormtrooper. I mean, yeah. Kylo 7, Kylo Relic 7, and then First Order Stormtrooper, First Order Officer, Relic 5. I mean,
okay,
come on.
Relic 5 isn't the 5th part of the relics is a little bit difficult. I have a rule of thumb. If I take anything to Relic, it goes immediately to 4 because that is the easiest to get.
It's easy to get to 4, but to get to 5, it's like, you're using... I don't think... that you're not using Chirotechs because Chirotechs are for 6 and 7, but you're using like Carbantes, stun cuffs, stun guns, really, really bloody important purple materials. Gear that you need to be reserving for characters so that you can get them to bloody 13 in the first place. So yeah, I mean, they always sometimes I like and sometimes I dislike when they put at the end of a post subject to change. Okay? They didn't, and if they put subject to change on there, this is one of the reasons why I think they're drip feeding this. I think they're drip feeding this because instead of just giving us all of the requirements and telling us what's going to be in the kit, they're drip feeding us this so that they can get the reaction from the community. So if there's enough uproar, they might be like, right, okay, so let's make the next 5 characters a Relic 3 requirement instead of a Relic 5 or a Relic 7. And then, so they'll drip feed out another 3 or another 4 characters, and they'll just be like, don't worry, requirement for this is only Relic 3. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, you only need to be 17,500 GP. I'm hoping that is the reason why they're drip feeding this stuff to us.
Well, So Neil, what they've done, and I'm going to comment in a moment about your whole subject to change thing, because you had an interesting story when we were playing when we were doing Runes of Magic together on Tuesday, and that came out. You had an interesting story about what you would say always subject to change.
Yeah.
But what we're getting here is achievement-based items. So you have to complete quests.
Yeah, but and that's fine. I think achievement-based quests are fine. The fact that you're getting them at 7 stars is great. But when you look at the time that is going to be required to get these galactic characters on top of what is required for the older, the 2 events that let's hope to God they never bring back. The gas event, the way that they did the gas event and the way that they did the Malik event, only giving us 5 stars and then having to farm them 6 to 7. I think we're pretty sure that, any future ones, they're going to be the Galactic Legends. So, if you're not going for Malik or gas at the moment, to then, or maybe you're just going for Separatists for the Geo dark side, or maybe you're going for the light side for the light side. What they've done by making the requirements so high and factions that people aren't necessarily already farming. You wouldn't be farming First Order for any of those other events that I've just mentioned. You wouldn't. So it creates an extra block, so we're talking about an event that you're probably going to need to save up for and trickle do it over, maybe 12 months.
Yeah,
I get the sense of achievement after working on it for 12 months it's gonna feel great, but
as I said, last week, and I called this, I truly called this, it is the Galactic Legend layaway program.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as I was saying, there's quests. What if, Neil, get this, what if one of the requirements in the quests is to hit Kyber in Grand Arena Championship, or to achieve a certain star level in a territory battle, or to win so many territory wars?
That would be different. That would be. I hesitate to say a welcome change. I mean, something like that could be interesting. So, in one of those prerequisites, instead of all the prerequisites being you must have this character to Gear 13, this level relic. Yeah, it would be. We're going obviously in order to get the characters. You're farming factions. We know that we're farming for resistance, and we know that we're farming for First Order. So maybe one of the requirements is to do the assault battle that requires those factions to be completed at 3 stars, a mythic tier of something, or maybe you have to do, I don't know, challenge 2 or you have to do a ship, complete a. Maybe you have to win 5 squad arena battles with all First Order or all resistant ships, something like that. I can see something like that being more fun, more interesting, because it's a prerequisite that most people would look at and go, oh, that's an easy one. I can do that one. What they need to do is because there are so many prerequisites, they need to come up with some more attainable, some more reachable ones. Prerequisites that somebody that's been playing this game already for 3 years but might not have a bunch of Gear 13 relic characters can look at and go, hey, you know what, I've got the ships, I can do that, or oh hey, I can do that assault battle to so yes, something like that would be better than just here's 17 characters you got to get and they've all got to be between relic 3, 5, they've got to be relic 3, 5 and 7. That's my biggest fear. I'm just fearful that that's what they're going to do. And when you add something like that to the requirements for gas and to the requirements of, all right, the requirements for Malik, you don't need Gear 13. You can do it with 11s and 12s. We all know that. So let's put Malik to one side and just keep it on the GOTBs and gas. People building up for gas, people building up for the GOTB, aren't going to be able to, especially free-to-play veterans, aren't going to be able to allocate the resources necessary to meet prerequisites if it's 15 Gear 13, Relic 2, 3, 5, 7 characters. And that's the problem I've got. I'd like them to just roll it back, maybe a GP requirement as opposed to a relic, so that at least then people can attempt it, and people can start theory crafting it,
Yeah.
The lower the they can make the recommendations as high as they want. I just want them to make the requirement to do the quest for the character low enough that a few people can get in there and start playing and start theory crafting. I don't think that that's too much to ask of CG. So I'm hoping that the new prerequisites that they roll out for the Ray event and for the Kylo Ray event are, more attainable for, your average veteran player.
All right. So you had an issue when we were talking about the words subject to change.
Subject to change, yeah.
So I've just so you know, on the other end of this, I've got a little bit of a gotcha for you.
Mm-hmm.
But go right ahead. What were you telling me?
Well, I was just telling you about the subject to change is something that you throw in at the end when you know that you're not going to do, or you suspect that you're not going to do everything that you've just said before adding that sentence. And the story that I told you was back when I was a project manager. If I was at a startup meeting and we were discussing the requirements of the customer or of the client, they would be saying, "Oh, we want this, we want that," and knowing full well that that probably wasn't going to be what they asked for, I would turn on the shine and say, "Oh, we can do this for you, and we can do that for you, and we'll be able to do this for you, and we can do this in this building, and we can do this in this building," and then at the end of all of that spiel from the customer, from the client, from me, I would throw in at the end, but of course it's all subject to change, meaning everything that we've just discussed at the startup meeting will probably be thrown out of the window, and in 2 weeks when we have the survey meeting, your requirements will be completely and utterly different. So that was my funny story, and that is why when I see the line "subject to change" at the end of any post, it just instantly makes me discount everything. I'm thinking there's a 50-50 chance that everything that was said before subject to change is going to change. Not that it is subject to change, it's that we're probably going to change it, so we'll hedge our bets, we'll cover our asses, and we'll say this.
Well, okay. So there's another thing that they always put subject to change on in the SWAGA forums, and that's disclaimer: all dates are subject to change for the event calendars.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do.
They
GAC
don't.
did. GAC was in the calendar for GAC was in the calendar for the 20th, and it changed to the 23rd.
But they always and I can count on one hand the amount of times that they've entirely canceled something.
Yeah, that does happen.
So it might be slight change in recommendations, but there was no subject to change, was there, in the in what was in the relic needed? Or maybe there was. I'm looking.
Well, no. They said that the recommendation was going for the assault battles. The recommendation was going to be Relic 3 for Challenge 1, and the recommendation for Tier 2 Challenge was going to be R5, Relic 5. And, I am over the moon that, within hours of it running, the Theory Crafters were able to beat those recommendations. I mean, they were able to pound those recommendations into the ground because, Thrawn and BB-8 only need to be Gear 12. They don't even need to be Gear 13, Gear 12, So, yeah, I mean, that's not part of the subject to change. I'm sure they were thinking people were going to put all droids in or all Empire in, and the recommendation was probably would have been required on for those whole factions, but what somebody's done is they've mixed the factions, and that's what's so awesome about Theory Crafters is that they have different mindsets and they think about these things in different ways. So bravo! I tip my cap to the Theory Crafters that were working on Challenge Tier 1. Hurry up and come up with a solution to Challenge Tier 2 for Forest Moon.
So, all right, it's Sig put in there that outcry to the event won't force them to change requirements. Look at light side territory battles. Hey, I'm still trying to die on that hill. I really am still trying to die on that hill. But I will say I'm absolutely fine with this because it is an individual-based journey. Not pun slightly intended. Not intended, but I'm going to go ahead and embrace that pun. But when it comes to territory battles where it's guild-based, and it is something that you're doing with your guild and other people relying upon you and you're relying upon other people, that's where I say that the difficulty needs to be brought back down. And I will always stand by and say, just bring it down 10%. And light side Geonosis territory battle will be palpable.
Yeah, throw me a frickin' bone, man.
Exactly. So, anyway, we're the last thing that I want to talk about before we go into the break and have CubsFan Han on. They did release, and here's where it was, the Galactic Legend Ray. By the way, if you're going for Ray, you need Ray Jedi Training, which is a hero's journey now in the journey guide. You need Finn, Vanilla Finn. We're talking not Boss Finn.
Bitch Finn.
You said it. And then Resistance Trooper, which is great. Which is a great character.
Sorry, I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. You ended up. You mean Major Tom?
Up there. Oh, see, now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Major Tom.
Major
for
Tom.
Urs Watchers. We love having the Hall joining us. Even though Urs is right now crossing streams with us, we love you, Urs. One of these days, you're going to have an accident, though. I'm just going to say, and I'm not threatening you. I'm just worried about your drinking and flying.
Your drinking and flying it's gonna cause you a problem one of these days, mate. It really is.
Yeah. So, but they also brought out the shard. They also brought out the B or the Y wing, the BLT as you like to call
sandwich.
It. Yeah. I'm finally glad that I have something to farm. I have not farmed something in, I would say, probably 6 months because we didn't get many releases, and when they did, it was a Galactic Chase, and I'm always ready for Galactic Chases. So I'm glad that we finally have something to do that. And also, they removed Jedi Knight Anakin Starfighter from Phase 3, Map 1 of platoons in the light side GOTB.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you say? Why don't we dial up Cubs here?
Yes, let's dial up Cubs.
Yeah, let's get to Cubs, guys. On the other side of this break, we have story time with the llama, and then I do ask Cubs some hard-hitting questions, don't I, Nev?
Yeah, you do. Don't pull any punches.
Yep, I did not pull any punches. We talked to CubsFan Han about his newfound success as a full-time YouTuber coming up on the other side of this break right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord in the Show Links channel. See you on the net.
Heinze from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today, because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen, and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello and welcome back, Escape Padawans, to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week on our Holotable Heroes series is the Cantina Battles table, and we get some shameless tips from one of TepCon's own. The Cantina Battles table is going to be one of your main sources of shard farming, and where you'll use your Cantina energy every day. There are 8 different levels, each with 7 battle nodes that are labeled A through G. As the levels go up, so does the difficulty. Now, each node will earn you a different character or ship shard. Some nodes, like 3F, actually earn you both Kylo Ren Unmasked shards and his ship TIE Silencer shards. It's like a 2-for-1 special on a single node. A huge advantage to the Cantina nodes is that you can battle them an unlimited amount. Unlike the light and dark side hard nodes, where you can only battle 5 times per day. In addition to the character and ship shards you can earn, there are 3 Cantina nodes that will become very important once you reach the endgame stages, and they are 8C, F, and G. Those nodes will actually earn you the signal data pieces you'll need to relic your characters after you get them to Gear 13. And now, some tips from your favorite Swaggo YouTuber's favorite Swaggo YouTuber with a noob droid, Horsebox. No, wait, I don't think that's it. Oh, Helenix. First up, he suggests purchasing 1 crystal refresh for your Cantina energy every day. You can use it to farm 1 character. Now, if you try and spread your energy too thin, it will take you forever to get your characters started up. That's why he suggests only focusing on 1 character at a time. This will also serve as double duty, because spending Cantina energy will actually count towards your daily 600 ticket production. And lastly, make sure you use your Cantina store tokens to farm 1 character at a time as well. Having focus in your farming and spending will help you progress faster. After you get all of the available shop characters to 7 stars, he suggests actually using the tokens to purchase currency so you can gear up your ships. That's all for me this week. Tune in next week for more Storytime with the Llama on the Escape Pod cast for kids.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a Storytime with the Llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinzie options available too. Become an official Padawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
and welcome back to the Escape Pod cast incoming transmission this week. And Nev, just 1 second. One thing I have to do because of our guest that we have, and I think you got something too.
Yeah, I've got something too.
I just have to get this shirt on, and you're getting that shirt on. So
I gotta run over to my closet and grab mine.
So the two rivals of this man's favorite team. The in 2003 there was that whole Steve Bartman thing.
Yeah.
And then the Crosstown Heroes.
Yep.
Then the Crosstown Rivals. He's got the
and
got the other
neither
guys.
of you bother me as much as a Cardinals jersey would, so we're okay.
All right. So, Neil, I'm very excited to have this guy back on. It's been a little while since we've talked to him. He is the person who, as Scotty talked about in his 5 Good Minutes, he's the guy who essentially started this show by encouraging Scotty and I to put this thing together. He is one of the most genuine content creators that is out there. And, I put him at the top of the list as far as people who are not in the Escape Pod Content Creator Network. For you to go always check out, like and subscribe to this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, right below Neil and I is CubsFan Han. Cubs, welcome to the stream, my friend.
Thank you. Hey, I'm glad you invited me to be here and glad it worked out. It's easier for me to find time nowadays.
Yeah. How is that going, mate? Because obviously you've recently transitioned from being part-time YouTuber to full-time YouTuber. So how is that working out for you?
About 1,000% better than I thought it would, to be honest. I'm beyond pleased with the response of my community and what has been able to happen once I started uploading every single day, which I almost never miss a day uploading now. And it's just been, I always had suspicions as I followed the metrics. I thought, well, maybe if I quit my job and I started uploading every day, maybe it'd be enough. But I didn't know that it would be enough, so I was too hesitant, and so I stayed in this, miserable full-time job that was, giving me an hour and a half there and back commute every single day, making me very miserable. And when I got let go, it was like, all right, well now, either go find a new job or try to make YouTube work. And I thought, this is my chance, this is my opportunity to see, is this going to work? It's desperation mode. Let's go. And after 2 months of doing it, I'm happy to say I've completely stopped any job searching. This is more than enough, and I couldn't be happier.
It's the way to do it. If you can't find a job, make a job.
Yeah, and I don't do well. This is just me. Like, I'm a free spirit. I do not do well in corporate America. Like, I get really miserable. I don't like this whole work just for the sake of working, be busy just to look busy. And I don't do well reporting to a boss and that kind of thing. So I really like being my own boss. You know what? Next week, I'm going to, give myself a couple of days off and I'm going to go to Galaxy's Edge because I'm the boss.
It's better to live to work than work to live.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I've noticed a lot more of us are getting a chance to go to Galaxy's Edge. And I think that's great. I mean, Thaddeus is there. Thaddeus just got back, actually, I believe.
Oh man, we just missed him
today. Yeah, you just missed Thaddeus, but and yeah, he was in California.
I always wanted to meet Going Nerdy.
You know what?
He's a legend in my mind. He was way ahead of me when I first started. And I was just like, man, could you collaborate with me? He was such a nice guy right out of the gate. I love that dude.
He is. And you know what? I'm going to do my darndest to make that happen. The three of us are going to get together someday.
Well, sometime when I'm up in Utah, that seems to be the most logical place to meet.
Well, obviously, but I've got family. I've got family up there in the motherland, if you will, Cubs.
Yeah. The mothership.
Yeah, the mothership. We'll definitely make that happen sometime.
All right.
So we'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh,
Apparently that's the only place to get good bar food.
Yeah, well, I mean, Buffalo Wild Wings is my favorite place, so it won't be hard at all for you to talk me into going there.
Well, I'll tell you this: you come to Texas, I'll introduce you to Pluckers, and you'll be like, Buffalo what?
Well, I mean, sure, I'm sure that there's better. I love Buffalo Wild Wings.
If you ever head over to Blighty, go check out Beefeater.
All right,
that's good. That's proper pub grub.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. But, people aren't here to listen to us talk about food and meeting content creators and stuff. They're here to talk about Galaxy Heroes. Listen to that. So, you started with this whole full-time YouTuber thing. You decided to go ahead and join in with a lot of the other content creators in starting a Hyperdrive bundle only account.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about this. Is that the only purchase that you've made on this?
No. Well, the very first day on the stream, I went and got Jedi Revan. So if that answers the question,
that does answer the question. Now that
yeah.
So how? And I'm sure you've addressed this already, but for those. The last time that we talked to you was about your free-to-play pledge.
Mm-hmm.
What do you respond to the people that said, what happened to your free-to-play pledge when it comes to this Hyperdrive bundle account?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, the best response I'd have is circumstances have changed quite a bit. Number one, when I made that pledge, I was 100% envisioning my own personal account. And having a second account wasn't even on the table at that point. Going full-time YouTube was not even on the table at that point. And so going full-time YouTube and looking for more ways to expand my content, to reach, to appeal to a wider audience for my business, the Hyperdrive bundle made a lot of sense to create a second account so I could appeal to a whole new subset of people and kind of go from there. And so I did have a feeling that there would be people who felt upset about the pledge, feeling like it should apply to, blanket. I should never spend another cent on the game, no matter what the account. And I respect that. And if I've hurt those people because of it, I apologize. At the end of the day, when I was evaluating whether or not I wanted to do it, I just had to think, what is best for me? What is best for me? What's best for my business? What's best for my subscribers? And the small subset of people that would be bothered by that, I felt like the benefit of being able to appeal to a much wider audience and to have more content to cover outweighed that consideration for me. Plus, I didn't feel bad about it personally one bit, because the circumstances were so different.
Well, yeah, but the main account is still free to play, isn't it, Cubs?
Yeah, the main account.
For all intents and purposes, you have maintained the pledge on your main account. The Hyperdrive bundle account is purely for
pledge.
It's purely for content.
Yeah.
Because you've gone full time, you need you need to be able to put more content out there. So I must admit, I'm curious. You did the same thing that Arnold did, and you wailed to get Revan on day one. Have you two got together at all and discussed the comparison? Did it cost you more to get Revan than it cost Arnold to get Revan? I'm curious.
It was almost the same. Based on our comparison, I don't remember my exact amount, but I remember talking about it, and we're like, yeah, pretty much about the same. And our experience has been very similar. There is a shocking amount of Revans in that shard right now. It's just like a week and 2 days old right now. Week and a couple days.
Yeah, my shard blew up as well.
Into the shard now, and it blows my mind how many Jedi. The whole top 50 has Jedi Revan. The whole top 50. It's crazy. And so I actually, if there's one thing that I, as far as expectations are concerned, I thought that buying the Hyperdrive bundle would put me in, just buying the bundle would put me in a position to be a top dog in the arena. I thought, that's going to put me ahead. I'm going to be pretty good. It's going to be me and a couple guys, no, no, I have gone decently on this and I am falling behind. It's crazy. And so I told my shard that we were actually talking about this tonight. How do we feel about that? And I was like, well, I feel happy and sad about it. I feel sad about it because for my own personal enjoyment, I don't know if I can keep up with all 50 of you guys plus who are just going ham right now. But from a business standpoint, it actually kind of makes me happy because that's like that shard is from a 3-day window and there's that many people doing this. It gives me confidence that the game's in a really solid place. So I'm actually kind of okay with it. Kind of makes me sad for me, and for other people. But I think it's an indicator that there's a lot of people still going crazy on this game in the beginning game. So
how quickly did the shard fill up with Hyperdrive bundle
I got there
whales?
day one. When I entered the shard chat, which was basically a minute after my stream, I had an invite to the shard chat because and there were already 16 people there. And now, I've got the Discord pulled up right now. I'll look at the server. How many people are in here now? In the shard chat, we've got 14. Okay, we've done good. 14, 15. We got 20, 21. We got 21 in there now. It's wild.
But you've got, 50? The top 50 are all Hyperdrive bundle purchases?
No, they're not all Hyperdrive bundle purchases. They're all Hyperdrive Plus, Revan. Yeah, Hyperdrive bundle is like probably the top 100 plus. So it's crazy like that. And this opens up a whole discussion on the beginning game. How is the beginning game? What's the health like in the beginning game? And if you look at it from an arena standpoint, it's more whale focused than it ever has been, but it always has been whale focused. Whether or not you buy the Hyperdrive, let's say the Hyperdrive bundle is not a factor. The whales are the ones at the top who get to level 85, who buy the chromium packs, who get those characters that nobody else can get. That's how it has always worked. It's just easier to do that. It requires probably less whaling to do that. And so I think more people are probably doing it now, which increases that gap. And also being able to just jump straight to level 85 day one dramatically increases that gap, making Squad Arena probably an exclusive whale game mode up and probably until 1.5 to 2 years of playing. If you're free to play, it's going to take you about 1.5 probably 2 years, so somewhere around there, to be able to be competitive in Squad Arena. And we could debate whether or not that's okay or not. There's a lot of other game modes than Squad Arena, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, you said, would you like to summarize your video that you did a week ago that did pretty well? Is free-to-play dead? Neil likes to argue and say free-to-play is dead. What's your thoughts? No. Don't
take me out of
Okay.
Early game competitive free-to-play is dead. Veteran free-to-play, the Hyperdrive bundle is not going to affect a veteran free-to-play account. It's only new free-to-play accounts that are dead.
If somebody starts today and they go entirely free-to-play, it's your chum.
Mm-hmm.
It's not dead.
Fight me.
So here's the assumption that a lot of people make, is that if you can't take first in arena, if you can't win every single grand arena, if you can't do all those things, that it's not worth playing the game. I've met people who still do not understand what mod slicing is in person, and they watch my videos. And these people still play the game. They don't ever even dream about spending a cent. They're ranked 2,000 in arena. They never win a grand arena, and they're still having fun. So, no, I don't think free-to-play is absolutely dead. I think competitive beginning game Squad Arena free-to-play is dead.
That's what.
So
that's what
I've been arguing for. We need to zero in on specific game modes. If you want to be top 50 competitive Squad Arena as a free-to-play player, you're not going to do that in the early game. You're going to have to wait until you catch up and get to the late game, which is going to take a lot longer now. But Grand Arena, you're getting matched up with similar accounts. There's so many other areas of this game that you can play, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if there's game modes that are just whale focused. The whales spend a ton of money. It's amazing that this game has a game mode like Squad Arena where you can go up in the late game. You can go up against somebody who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in this game, and that is a real number that some people have spent. And you can be a player who's never spent anything but played a long time, and you can beat them. It's crazy that the game has that kind of balance. And so to have a game mode that is just limited to whales in the beginning game, you know what? I think that's fine, personally, as long as there's other areas where free-to-play can get enjoyment. That's
that's been since the Hyperdrive bundle kicked in. That has been my primary concern is the is the attrition.
Well, this was my mindset.
There must be more people coming in than going out.
Yeah, this was my mindset though. When I first started the game, I looked at Squad Arena. I wasn't on 1,000 Discord servers. I wasn't on Reddit all the time. I just downloaded the game because I like Star Wars. I hadn't even dreamed of being a YouTuber. At this point, I was just playing a Star Wars game, and I looked at Squad Arena. I was probably sitting at like rank 500. I was like, damn, like I'm never gonna get there. I mean, whatever, I didn't even care. I just looked at it. I was like, those guys are so far ahead of me. This was before I thought this was the #1 player in the world. I didn't realize that there were shards, all this thing. I didn't care. So I think for the average common player, I don't think it's going to affect them a ton. All of us, the YouTubers who talk about this game, you guys, you talk about, like, we're so focused on what the end game competitive experience is like, because that's who we interact with. That's who's in our comment section. That's who's in our guild. That's who's in our Discord server. The common average player of this game just doesn't really feel like being that competitive. And so I don't think it's terrible. I think that there is a discussion of, what CG should do about this to make it more worth it to play games like Squad Arena or, game modes, or give more crystal income to free-to-play players. But to me, I don't think it's dead. I do not think free-to-play is dead.
My thoughts on it. No, I love it. And I agree that I think CG should put out some content that is attainable for the average person that is new, that is these new characters. Have like a late game Ray, and they and have a mid game new Ray, but then they get criticized that they just made something too easy for people to do. So in retrospect, it's pretty much darned if they do, darned if they don't. So they just do end game content.
Hate to be them. I'd hate to be the president of the United States, and I'd hate to be CG. I'd hate to be
those are the only two jobs that you envy, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So okay. One thing I want to address with you, I don't know, did you get a chance to listen to our Warrior interview?
I did not.
You did not. Okay. 4 days ago, you did a video that asked what the next meta will be. And you also gave your thoughts on Warrior leaving and what that possibly means. But with your take on this whole new Hyperdrive bundle account and getting Revan day one and things like that, Warrior did mention you at the end of the video and mention you and Mobile and Arnold about the whole, his biggest regret was the money that he spent on the game and where he could have used it otherwise overall. And do you have, I think I saw that regret from you a little bit in that free to play pledge video that we talked to you about last time. Do you have any of that same regret in doing what you did with your Hyperdrive bundle account?
Compelling question. I'll draw a line. When I spent on my main account, there's a difference. So I was spending as a player. All right. And as a player of this game exclusively, so I was not spending to cover the game, right? The spending I did on it did not give me any possible advantage to cover the game at all. It was not a business decision. It was a personal enjoyment of the game decision. And as I was spending, I got myself in a hyper competitive guild. I felt that pressure. I'm not blaming this on the guild at all. I've got no hard feelings.
No one's suggesting you are.
In fact, that guild has gone on to be one of the best guilds in the game, and so I'm glad that I'm gone from them because I can't do that even now.
Can't keep up.
Even if I didn't make the pledge, and even with all this, all this justified business expenses I can now do, I just. No,
I remember you. I remember you putting out the content about being removed from the guild, not long after making the free-to-play pledge.
Yeah, and at the time, and I'll get back to what I was saying, but at the time, it felt to me like it was just a free-to-play thing. They say it wasn't, but I really, and I don't care. When I made the pledge, I told my guild leader, yo, if you need me to go, I'll go, because this guild's hyper focused. And so they say it wasn't that, and I'm going to take them at their word. But I mean, based on where the guild's at now, they're better off without me. They really are. My account can't keep up with their pace now.
You did the gentleman thing and stood aside.
Yeah, I was asked
to
go to a different guild, and at the time I was a bit salty about it, but we were fine, I don't want to dwell on that, but the difference between the Hyperdrive bundle, if I have regrets, and my main account, if I have regrets, I think I regret feeling obligated to spend. That's what made me feel trapped and miserable, and that's what drove me to make the free-to-play pledge. I do not regret yet the Hyperdrive bundle spend because, maybe a year from now I'll feel differently. But for now, I really am happy that I did that because it has given me an opportunity to relate with a lot of players in the game that I could not relate with before. Now, is it giving me an opportunity to relate with the brand new free-to-play players to the game? No. But as we can tell by my shard, there is a ton of people in this game who have bought the Hyperdrive bundle. There's a lot of people, and they're wanting content on what do they do, and so I can relate with them. So spending on the main account, regrets, that was personal spending. I felt obligated. The Hyperdrive bundle was a pure business decision and one that I think was very good for the channel.
That's why I got That's why I got that guy helping me host this show. Because he is he is entirely free to play.
That guy.
Entirely.
Yes. Neil is entirely free to play.
You've never even spent $2 on the game.
Never spent a dime on the game.
Impressive.
Never spent a dime on the game.
That's stamina, man.
My current account is coming for Babu. Oh yeah. When you and Arnold started your new accounts, I was just over 3 months into a Horde account. I'd started a new account and hoarded for 150 days.
Wait, you're in my shard?
No, I'm not in your shard. I'm in your division for GAC.
Oh, okay. I better get nervous then.
I'm just under it. Have you gone over the 800k threshold yet?
Yeah, I'm at 850.
Okay, so I need to get over the... don't worry, for the next GAC, I will be over the 800k threshold. I'll have Revan, CLS, and Chewie, so yeah.
Impressive.
Coming
I don't have CLS.
Coming for Babu.
So his account, he hoarded crystals for how many days, Neil?
I hoarded at level 28 for 150 days.
Oh my gosh.
And then I went live. The Hyperdrive bundle came out while I was at level 78, 79. So it just blew up my shard. I was top 20 from day one in the shard until 1 day after the Hyperdrive bundle kicked in. I was top 20, and within 48 hours of the Hyperdrive bundle drop in, I was outside the top 200. Nuts. Just went nuts. And like I said, because I'm
that
100%.
Right there is where the Hyperdrive bundle has a very negative impact on the game for someone.
And that's why I think that free to play competitive is dead.
I am literally clinging onto the top 100 for dear life.
So I'm curious because my perception is that you'll be okay in game modes like Grand Arena. Are you competitive there or
undefeated? First Grand Arena, 3 from 3.
There you go. See, for me personally, this is me personally. I enjoy Grand Arena a million times more than Squad Arena. Squad Arena is a chore. Grand Arena is a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah.
I enjoy that game. That game. If we just had Grand Arena, and CG, don't watch this. Close your ears right now. But if we only had Grand Arena in this game forever, I'd play the game forever.
Yeah, I would.
That's not an excuse to not do more, CG. But that's what I. So if you're competitive there, to me, free to play is not dead. It's not dead. It's dead in a specific game mode that sucks.
What? I will say though, just quickly, Paul. I will say that this Grand Arena that I was in, I was not Division 11. I was Division 10. I did not have to face a Hyperdrive bundle account, so I have not faced a Hyperdrive bundle account in GAC yet. I'm hoping that this is just phase 1. I'm hoping that maybe phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. I mean, did you start in Division 11 this GAC, or
10.
did you start in 9? You started in 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So far, I think where my real benefit is going up against everyone is that I've got Revan. A lot of people don't have him, and so I'm not even putting him on defense because I just feel bad. You know, I don't want to have a cheap, easy win. I want people to hit me, and I want it to be a good match. But where I'm noticing a lot of people have ground on me because my account's 10 days old. Their account's couple months old. They've got more mods, they've got more characters, they've got and so I'm going up. I've got an advantage because of a few characters, but I actually feel like some Hyperdrive bundle players, if they don't play it smart, will struggle. Another advantage I've got is I've got access to other nodes. So like, for example, I blitzed the bugs, and I've already got a bugs team. They're only
Same
like
here.
level 70.
I farmed those bugs hard, so that's what
my account. My mindset is shifting very quickly to Grand Arena only mindset. Like that's the only game.
That's the only game mode I'm thinking about. Jedi, bugs, bounty hunters.
Hell yeah! I need to do my bounty hunters.
Yeah.
I'm farming them though. I'm farming Django. So almost got him unlocked. In fact, I could probably go unlock him right now. Oh wait.
I'm a gnat's hair away from 5-star in Django. So as soon as he's 5 stars, I'm going straight for the Chewie event, and fingers crossed I can get myself a 5-star Chewie, because I've got a 7-star Han, and I'll have CLS before the end of this GAC. So to have the CLS Han Chewie trio, even without Zetas, is still going to be, which is why
if you're a free-to-play player, if you're listening to this show right now and you're wondering, is there hope for me? That's the hope, man. Just focus on Grand Arena. Now, the big caveat there, the big thing that we do need to discuss that we can't discredit is that Crystal Income is focused on Squad Arena. And so I think that the problem here is not necessarily that free-to-play can't compete in Squad Arena, but that free-to-play have very limited access to crystals more so than ever. And that's the problem I think needs to be addressed, not necessarily finding a way to make free-to-play competitive or split them out into their own shard or that kind of thing. I think we need to find more ways to give crystals to players who are not able to compete in Squad Arena for like 2 years, even if they plan very, smart. So.
Yeah, the minimum, I mean, from my point of view, having played, obviously, the method that I've been playing, free to play, that's it. If you can make 200 a day, if you can make 100 from Squad Arena, and you can make 100 from Fleet Arena, which is possible, but you've got to farm those geo ships hard, then you can you can farm competitively enough to be able to put together a decent roster that will be competitive in GAC. If I wasn't making 200 a day, I would not be able to farm. I wouldn't be able to do the farming that I'm doing. I wouldn't have all of my Jedi at 7 stars now. I wouldn't have 5 bounty hunters at 5-star.
And
I
that's
wouldn't
it.
have
You know,
all
when you
my
nerf that
geos.
crystal income, it just slows your progress down so much.
If you can't do the triple farm on your regular energy and the double farm on your Cantina and the double farm on your fleet arena, yeah, you grind to a halt. I mean, I built up a nest. I was fortunate. I built up a nest egg, so I farmed so hard on Cantina to get my geo, my GBA to
That's
4-star, just to activate
I put all my Cantina energy to GBA.
I did 4 solid days of 300 crystals every single day just to get Game Boy, and then I put that Zeta straight on him and put him in defense. Nobody gets past the geos.
Yeah, that's kind of what because nobody has Treya.
No one has I've got Treya, but I just don't have Scion and Nihilus yet.
We're working on that for you, Babu.
Yeah, you are. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
So you got to start farming Scion and Nihilus now, though, mate. If you want to get past them geos.
Got a lot of priorities. I'm probably gonna stop my bugs at like 5 stars and move on to something else, just so I can spread the love a bit. I
just passively farm them from fleet, mate. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm farming them for fleet and for Grand Arena defense. I really feel like I'm going to put those guys on defense, and good luck.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this journey with Babu. As far as we've talked about the makings of it. We've talked about your thoughts on it. But what are you seeing, and how are you feeling with how you're doing with this? You also happen to do everything with Babu on a certain other streaming platform, don't you?
Yeah. So, and just in case anyone's confused, Babu Freak is the name of my Hyperdrive bundle account. Are you talking about Twitch? You mean like doing a lot?
I am. I'm leading you into the Twitch.
This is it. Like, this is part of why I did this. Is I've got so much to do on the account that I was on Twitch for I think 2.5 hours this morning, just doing stuff on the account. And I was also doing assault battles this morning too, and failing miserably. Yeah. So I mean, there's just so much to do. So I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it.
So, are you following a certain pillar system of our old friend Warrior, or
I love you, Warrior, but nah, I'm not following it all.
You're not following any pillar
system.
system.
It's different.
The pillar system doesn't work after the purchase of a Hyperdrive bundle. It really doesn't.
We should try to get Warrior to come out of retirement and do a new pillar system.
It was also Cytor, who, guess what?
Pillar Hyperdrive, pillar non-Hyperdrive.
Well, it was partly Cytor that was helping with this pillar system as well, who, spoiler alert, Cubs, I don't know if you know this, Cytor also quit on us.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in my shard.
Either, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cytor was in my shard, and he sent me a message. He went, he was a few levels below me, so when the Hyperdrive bundle came out, it just destroyed his account. Yeah. It destroyed his crystal income, and as a result of that, he could no longer follow the farming system that he had in the back of his mind that was going to be the update to the 5 pillar system. So he just mothballed the account. I think there's one other than me, there's one other person still in my shard that's in the top 100 that is free to play. One other character, and that's Private Stash. Yeah. And he's a content creator.
And how long have you been playing?
123 days.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yep, that's the
way the cookie crumbles.
The byproduct of the Hyperdrive bundles. Yep.
So you've got Twitch, you've got your YouTube account, which I mean you're scratching at the door of 40K. You want to get to 50K by the end of this year, right?
I'm going to.
And you're gonna get that little silver button.
Well, that's at 100K.
Oh, that's 100K. Well, you'll still get that silver button, my friend.
Fucking better. I want it bad. Yeah.
But you've also talked. There's also kind of like a way that we're still clawing to get to 1K. We're this show It's more listened to in podcast format than it is YouTube, because honestly, this is a podcast, but we still want to get to that 1K. And what we've been doing is diversifying with a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. We're doing, we're partnering with Going Nerdy and doing, basically recap shows like you've done with Mandalorian as well.
Sure.
What other stuff, because I know you can't spend an entire day playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Sorry, CG. What other stuff are you working on in the background, and where is that going?
So there's this really awesome My Little Pony game. It's an RTS, and
how can you say that with a straight face?
No, the reason I thought about that is I was low-key planning on doing a April Fool's joke on my subs, where I, with a totally straight face, put out a video about a My Little Pony game and treat it like I've been covering it for years. All right, guys, here we are with another My Little Pony video. We're going for Rainbow Dash today. She's feisty.
And you know the names.
So there's 2 games. Well, look, I've got a daughter. I do know their names because I
know their names. I've got 2.
Yeah, I even have a favorite. In fact, on my Twitch stream, I have a Rainbow Dash emoji because Rainbow Dash is pretty cool. But I got no shame admitting that. So the 2 other games I'm playing right now are mobile games, are Marvel Strike Force and Dragon Champions. Both great games. Marvel Strike Force I love because of the Marvel stuff. It's a bit hard to cover. Marvel Strike Force and Dragon Champions both have positives and negatives. For Marvel Strike Force, I'm finding it hard to cover the beginning game, and it's hard. Even though I'm playing every day, I've had a hard time figuring out how to cover the game, and so I'm kind of taking my time with it. I'm not uploading as often.
You're not fancy trying your hand at what Urza does and maybe streaming some PC games?
So part of my problem with that right now is just my streaming setup. My PC is having a hard time handling AAA games and streaming at the same time. So I need to
find some A games.
Yeah.
There's loads out there.
I don't know. I'm really focused right now. I want to catch up on Marvel Strike Force, and then Dragon Champions. It's such a great game. The devs are incredibly communicative with the community, and very receptive to feedback. But the YouTube views for the game just aren't very good for anyone. So yeah, so those are the 2 games I'm kind of focused on right now, and I'm really hoping that there's a new Star Wars mobile game at some point. I've kind of found, while I'd love to cover some console games, I feel like my niche is mobile gaming market right now. And so that's kind of where I'm lingering on my focus. And I'd like to update my computer a bit so I can do Battlefront 2.
Well, I do want to point this out. Other than that, I gave you a little bit of homage back there on the
Rainbow
Dash video. I do want to let you know there is another Star Wars game that is coming out. I don't know if you know about this.
A Star Wars mobile game?
Yeah, a Star Wars mobile game called Lego Star Wars Battles.
Yeah, I heard about it. It's kind of like Force Arena, right?
Yeah, it's going to kind of be like Force Arena. So,
yeah,
I'm trying to get in touch with Traveler's Tales. If you get any leads on them, throw them our way, because Neil and I are really excited about the possibility of this darn game and what it's going to be like.
I hope that game is great.
So do I. I really do.
I tried too. I tried to get in touch with them and failed. So.
Yeah, it's coming 2020. That's all I know. I know that apparently overseas there has been a release beta of it.
Yeah.
And they do say that it's partially pay to win, but they're not saying that
it's a mobile game. It's partially pay to win.
But exactly, it's not technically.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah. All mobile games are freemium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be an exciting year. I mean, we got an ocean of content. We got Lego. We have all this, all these promises that that we've been given.
Yep.
And so, is there anything, we talked about ships. We talked about Galactic Legends, which it looks like they're going to come through with in March.
Yeah.
What other things were on our promise list, Neil, that you can recall off the top of your head?
Ship raid.
Yes. Is there anything that you can recall that we just didn't mention just now that is on the promise list that we need to add to this, Cubs?
Well, more generally, they promised that the content they wanted to bring content to the game that was not just slapping a new IP on old stuff. And in other words, they don't want to release reskinned content. And what we mean by that, reskinned content is like Geonosis territory battles. It is a new look for old content with 1,000% tenacity on everyone. And so that's the promise that I am the most interested in personally, because what I think the biggest problem with a lot of what happened last year is that we didn't really get anything different. I mean, we got revamped Grand Arena, and I love the way that they changed it. So don't get me wrong.
GA to GAC was awesome.
It was a massive improvement. It made it so much more exciting to me. And then we got the Geonosis territory battles, which, love it or hate it, was something new, but it was, basically just the same thing, only harder, and it looked different. And that to me is not good for the game if we don't have new stuff, And with how much money this game has made, I really don't feel like it is too much to ask to have something new to do. And so that is what I am the most interested in. Like new raid, if I can make specific requests, but the way I think about it is not my job to come up with new unique content for CG. They have been paid $1 billion to do that, almost. And so I expect them to impress me. I expect them to give me something that makes me go, wow, I can't wait to play that. Kind of like how I felt with the Sith Raid. When I was over there and they showed us what was going on with the Sith Raid, it was so exciting. It was so new. The mechanics were exciting. It didn't feel reskinned. It was unique. All of this. I was so excited to play. I felt the same with Grand Arena. When they first released Grand Arena, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Territory wars on an individual basis. I can't wait to do this. I'm nervous to see how I stack up and all this. And I really feel like that is, so I don't care if they bring us a new raid. I would like it. I want them to give us something new this year. And it is up to them to do something new, not for me to come up with ideas for them on how to do it. Not that they'd listen to ideas anyway.
So let's wind the clock back here, because that's about when I discovered the world of content creators for this game. Was back when you went, you and Arnold and all them.
The end of your life.
Right.
Those hotel streams were epic.
So what teams were you using in these in this raid when you were getting to play test it? What was the teams that you were playing? Can you say?
We didn't play test the raid. This was actually something that was disappointing about that trip. Is they planned, I believe, on them on being able to play test it there, but they weren't quite ready. And so instead, they showed us a bunch of pictures and they talked about the mechanics and they told us about all of the phases. And they didn't tell us about phase 4. They're like, phase 4, good luck. And and they told us a little bit about that Treya would be the raid character, but the only play testing we actually did on that trip was 2 new characters, and that was Cyan and Visas Mar. And so we got to play test Cyan. Visas Mar, we were like, oh, okay, but we were all gushing over Cyan. We're like, oh yes, this dude is so dope. And I remember we got to play, and they had these iPads. I really wish they released this version of the game to everyone, but the iPads had unlimited frames per second. And so the game, it was just so fun to play on the account because it was just so smooth. The closest you can get to that is with BlueStacks, unlocking the 60 frames plus per second. But depending on your PC, that may not work very well. It's pretty choppy on mine. So
the unlimited frames per second version, I bet you didn't have any disappearing buttons.
Yeah, no discipline. No. Freaking
A. Well, you promised us 30 minutes. We've gone a little bit over that, Cubs. I thank you for sticking around here.
Yeah.
And talking to us. Neil, do you have anything else?
No, I just want to say it was an absolute pleasure to meet you, sir, and have you on the channel.
You bet. You guys keep doing what you're doing. It's been fun to, I see your channel, your podcast grow, and I remember I was probably driving to work when this idea was born, and it wasn't like you guys point to me, and I kind of facilitated, maybe nudged you guys on a bit, but you guys took this and you guys made it your own thing and you ran with it, and I'm really glad you did. So it's sweet.
Yeah, this when I messaged you, I'm like, dude, it's our 1-year anniversary and it's show 50. You gotta come on what you helped inspire.
When you said that, you're like, 1 year, show 50. I was like, oh well, I'd be a dick if I said no.
Well, guys,
no, I wanted to come.
CubsFan Han on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter too, right? I mean, you don't tweet too much, but
I tweet too much.
You have you are a great follow, and I'm looking forward to seeing these Galaxy's Edge picks. You have to do me a favor. I want your expression when you get off of Rise of Skywalker.
You mean Rise of Resistance? Yeah.
Or yes, Rise of Resistance. I need to get your. I want to see.
Hopefully we can get on it. I'm nervous about whether or not we will.
I gave you the tips.
We don't know. I've got another crack at it because we're going back again at the end of February. My wife and I. We got annual passes this year, so we're just like, let's go.
I gave you the tips to get in.
We're gonna do it all. We're gonna be there early, and we're gonna do our best. But I've heard, like, my sister went. She went in Florida. She went early. She did everything right. She got in a boarding group, and the ride broke down. She couldn't get on. So we'll see.
As soon as you card in, then load it up, and then get in the boarding group. You'll make it, and you'll.
I plan on it. That's the idea. That's the purpose.
No spoilers.
Oh, and give Mobile a big kiss from me.
Okay, probably not. I love Mobile Gamer, but yeah. I'm not gonna kiss that man. Maybe if he shows me his bald head, I'll kiss him on his head.
No, there we go. With that being said, and the awkward silence, we're gonna go ahead and throw to break. Neil, take us to break. Coming up after this break, the fourth segment, where we are going to tell you that we're not going anywhere, but there are new ways to find us right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Codename Llama to Agent N00B. This is Codename Llama to Agent N00B. Do you copy? TEPCON Command has new orders for you. Do you copy?
Agent N00B copies. Proceed with updated orders, Master Llama.
The investigation into the murder of Scotty McLaren has ended. Your mission to tail suspect Hellenix is no longer necessary. You are hereby released from the services of TEPCON Command.
Master, these orders do not compute. Hellenix has not yet been exonerated. My datasets are incomplete. Further investigation is required.
Agent N00B, I don't have time to discuss this with some noob droid committee. These are your new orders. You are being discharged. You are no longer an agent of TEPCON Command. Hellenix is your new master now, and you will serve him well. Codename Llama, out.
Master. Peculiar. Signal lost. Data set. Incomplete. Orders do not compute. Recalculate. Violation of Prime Directive. Recalculating. Error. Recalculating. Must complete Prime Directive. Recalculating. Unicode number 2260. Recalculating. Logic error. Recalculating. Must solve logic error discovered in updated orders.
Hey there, N00B. Did I just hear you practicing on how you are to address me? Huh? Were you just practicing how to say the word master? I could have sworn I heard you practicing, huh? Who's a good little droid? Wait, N00B, are you even listening to me? Hey, yo, droid. You feeling alright there, N00B?
Greetings, Hellenix. I am a droid. I am incapable of having feelings. My processors perform
calculations,
which may have the appearance of feelings to sentient beings such as yourself. Droids are more advanced than sentients, and therefore do not require feelings in order to properly function.
Okay, then. Why don't you run a self-diagnostic on that old bundle of wires you call a central processor, just so we're sure you aren't experiencing any more serious issues.
Understood, and will comply. Hellenix.
Just when you thought he was gonna say master.
What are you planning on doing today, if I may ask, Hellenix?
Same thing I do every Friday night, newbie. Get myself caught up on Discord, play me some Swuggo, work on some content for my YouTube channel. Hashtag shameless self-promotion. And of course, tune into The Escape Pod Cast with your hosts, Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Air. Take it away, boys. I got a recliner with my name on it and a podcast to continue listening to. N00B? Carry on, I guess?
Suspect, Hellenix. Suspected of the murder of Scotty McLaren. Guilty until proven innocent. Discharge orders invalid. Prime Directive being rewritten. Hellenix must be proven innocent. Or recalculating. Hellenix must be destroyed.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
And welcome back to the Escape Podcast. We are here for our fourth and our final segment. I really hope you enjoyed the CubsFan Han interview, because Paul and I really enjoyed doing that interview. So yeah, Paul, what a cracking little interview that was, wasn't it?
It was absolutely fun. I'm so grateful that Cubs was able to take some time out of his day after he put the daughters down to bed. But you know, all right. You're going to be doing something here, because I have a small little surprise for you.
What type of a surprise?
Let me let them know here real quick, to just go ahead and pop in. You're going to be doing something over there on your side, but while we're waiting, this Sunday, Talking Picard with Thaddeus from Going Nerdy is scheduled to join us. We'll be talking about the latest Star Trek episode, and that'll be fun. This Monday, we normally do Jackbox games on YouTube, but what we're going to do is I'm going to try and move that over to Twitch. Anything that you and I play, like Runes of Magic and Jackbox games and other games, we're looking at possibly doing Empire at War against each other.
Yeah, and Warcraft, Starcraft, Age of Empires.
Yeah,
all those old school games.
Some fun games that we'd like to do against each other. We're gonna try this.
Okay.
Right now I'm waiting for my little surprise guest person that I wanted to bring on for you.
Okay. I've just literally, just to let everybody else out there know exactly. While Paul was talking, then he said, "I've got a surprise for you. I need you to switch to studio mode and set up the guest scene." So I've got the guest scene set up, ready to cut in. But obviously there's no guest. It's just an empty space under me at the moment. So yeah, I'm intrigued, Paul.
Oh, there we go.
Nice one. I best let everybody else know.
He's hitting the little buttons now on his screen. I don't know if he can hear us. Nev, in celebration of our 1-year anniversary, the man who he's the legend maker and the legend himself, as I said. Heinze joins us. He's at work right now, and he just wanted to join in live and say hello. And now he's gone. You can do this, Heinze. No, we can't hear you. Got to join with computer audio or something. As we get a great shot of Heinze's fingers. And now he's gone. He'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back here in a moment. But you joined us. What episode, Neil?
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what episode it was when I started doing story time with the Nev. Hang on a minute. Easiest way to figure it out is to go into my email and look at the very first email that I sent to you, because that would have been the audio file. That literally would have been the audio file for the show. So, okay, let's find out how long I've been doing the Escape podcast. Well, obviously, I'm trying to remember how many weeks I did Storytime with the Nev. I did Storytime with the Nev for a fair few weeks before taking over from Scotty as co-host. But, it must have been was it 10 weeks? I was definitely doing story time with the Nev when you did episode 16 with Carrie.
Yes,
because obviously I did the pom pom. I got the message from her regarding the pom pom Carrie, didn't I?
yes, we did. By the way, now we can hear you, Heinze. Welcome to the program.
Hey guys, how are you? Where are you guys?
We are currently in our ship that you tried to commandeer from me.
Oh, come on. I'm here at the after party. I'm waiting for you guys to get here. I've got it all going on. I've got the drinks. I've got the pluckers that's just arrived. Hey, you over there, leave the warm beer alone. That's for Neil. Leave it alone.
Don't lie. Don't lie. We do not drink warm beer.
Where are you guys? I'm cranking it up here. I'm waiting for you legends to get here. The life of the party ain't here yet.
You didn't even know what the head on a beer was until we invented it.
Probably because you stuffed up pouring it. It's just full of air, man. Congratulations, guys. 1 year. Woo, woo, woo. You great job. That's awesome.
You've been supporting us almost since day one. I wanted to bring you on, and A, thank you for that. But B, congratulate you on your legendary success that you've had.
Oh man, honestly, it's a bit of a blur. It's awesome. Again, I've said it before. You guys were obviously a huge inspiration in getting this up and running with that other really, actually, he's just an absolute nutcase, that stupid other Australian guy. Can't even remember his name. He's really not even that important, to be honest. Without all of you guys, certainly we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, and we're certainly enjoying it. And there's plenty more fun, which is the best bit. We're just warming up, which is great. Love it. It's grouse.
So when is my big fight night then? And who's my opponent going to be?
The next round of 3, you're free. Can you book me in? Like, because, with the British and stuff, you probably need an appointment, finish your tea and your scones, all that sort of stuff. When you get that out of the way, hit me up, man, and I'll see when you can fit me in. I mean, that's the trick. So, look, definitely, we've got a round of 3 with a really cool Patreon of ours, actually. She's got a 2.8 account with some crazy synergy. We're going to do some wicked theory crafting for 3 rounds. But after that, you're on, man. You want to crank my account? We'll whale some whale. We'll hop in some whales, brother. That'll be fun. That'll be great.
Yeah, definitely, a lot of fun.
It's on. Haven't forgotten. It's just been mad.
Yeah, it has been. I don't understand. A lot of YouTubers take their breaks in January. Because apparently it's slow, but I haven't seen. It's not been slow for us. It's been probably our busiest month in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I believe that. I think a lot of people have a lot of time off to kick back and watch and take it easy and do bits and pieces, I guess. I mean, we all get caught up with day-to-day and work and life, except for, that lazy bugger Cubs, of course. But everyone else, obviously, we're all working pretty crazy. But it's great. We've had to, like all of us, we're always learning. There's so much to learn all the time. It'll never end, that side of things. So all we can do is improve for you guys and everyone out there. And if we keep the entertainment up, people are just going to keep tuning in. And that's certainly what we intend to do, all of us, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. If you build it, they will come.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Heinzie, thank you for dropping in, my friend. I know you got to get back to work, but thanks,
working now,
thanks for wanting.
It's after party, man. I'm cranking it up. I've got the hot tub now. The bubbles are flowing. It's all happening. So hurry up.
All right, we'll hurry up.
We'll hurry up.
We'll
hurry up.
We've got man. I'm going to smash all that chicken. Don't worry, the beer's going to be yours, Neil. No one's touching that warm beer, brother. That's yours. No one else is going near that stuff. So don't worry, you're safe. Paul, hurry up. The beers are going. The ones that are on ice, like normal people drink. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. All right.
Oh, and to answer your question about how long have I been on the show, I sent you my first segment for Escape Podcast for Kids on the 17th of April.
17th of April. So that was just 2 months. Once we started going a little bit and found our rhythm, we pulled you in. Which
I took over doing the Escape Podcast from the kids, so that it was a segment that you guys didn't have to, worry about coming up with something. You could just say, right, Nev, it's up to you. Give us 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh man. So, give me an update. Give me an update on the Horde account.
Okay, so Horde account. I didn't stream the final round of GAC because I was out and about in the car. I did record it. I just haven't uploaded it yet. So I got 3-0. So currently undefeated. Brand new account, currently undefeated. I didn't have to face a Hyperdrive bundle, which was good. But from a farming perspective, at the 4-month point, I am absolutely flying. I need 60 more shards for mission, and then I'll be getting my Revan. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to farm that. Between a week and 2 weeks, it's going to be about between 10 and 14 days, I think. So I should have Revan before the next GAC, which fingers crossed, because I really, really want to be fighting Babu Frick and Gary. I really, really want to be, and it'll give me a big enough GP boost to take me into Division 9, because those guys are going to be in Division 9 for the next GAC. But not just that. I've got 5 bounty hunters at 5 stars, but they're not the ones you really need to get Chewie. I am less than a week away from taking Django to 5 stars. All my bounty hunters are gear 8, so their contracts will kick in. So I'm hoping with, maybe 2,000, 3,000 tries, I might be able to get my 5-star Chewy. So, and the icing on the cake, and it really, really is a beautiful icing, very, very tasty icing, is I am 2 stars away from doing CLS. I've got Luke, Leia, Han, Old Ben. I just need 30 more Empire shards on 2 Empire characters to get my 7-star R2, and then I'm ready for. So the next GAC, I'm gonna, fingers crossed, I'll have Chewie, CLS, and Revan.
So how's GAC looking right now for you? You're worried.
I'm absolutely crapping myself. First round of phase 2 is not looking good. As soon as I looked at the roster, the squad arena, it was. Oh my god!
Surprise, Nev!
Surprise!
Holy crap, Carrie! Oh my god, how? Oh my
I'm
god.
Good. How are you?
How the hell are you?
I'm good. Congratulations on 1 year. That's awesome for all of you.
Oh, thank you ever so much. Thank you for popping in.
Yeah, happy to. Oh.
I feel like I should be, offering you a cup of tea, but it's a little bit difficult. Digital cup of tea.
That's okay. I'll get one and I'll pretend it's from you.
No worries. So, wow. How are you?
Great. I love it. I'm very happy. I live in Seattle now, and
really? Oh my god! It rains all the time there.
I love it. It's not as bad as the rumor, but I like wearing layers. I'm wearing like a vest on top of a thing, on top of a whatever, and I like the Seahawks, and I've gone to like 3 or 4 games, and I really, really like Bungie. Like it's and that's all with all like the love to like my friends still, yay and whatever. But like Bungie is just kind of exactly what I needed right now, and working on like an HD game is exciting, and there's lots of different challenges. It's been a while. Like we just did something that I haven't done in a long time because the thing doesn't exist in mobile games, and so it was like, oh right, this is stuff that is real. Like world art is a thing, and so it's super cool.
Oh, so you're working on something groundbreaking from a mobile game point of view?
No. I'm working on Destiny.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, like having been however many years since working on a game that was HD, like this is a totally different experience. So it's just cool and fun, and I love it.
Well, it's something new can be good. New can be fun.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I know I asked you personally when it happened, but did you have anything to do with these puzzles that they had to figure out for the?
No. Not at all. Like I have yet to contribute anything I think worthwhile. There's a lot of really smart people there doing really good work, and they were well underway before I started. And I'm really focused on like, it sounds weird, but it's really focused on like process stuff, and it's kind of exciting for me because it's a different challenge, right? So no, I had nothing to do with it, but it's super cool. I played it.
I had so many people that love playing it as well. I'm glad. Thank you for taking a moment and answering so quick when I was like,
no worries.
Come help me surprise Nev.
Such a wonderful surprise. So lovely to see you.
Hanging out in front of my Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, it's not just me. I mean, the people we got people in the chat. Laz, we miss you. Hellenix, we love Carrie.
Very sweet.
So Emperor Gubertine, Carrie, lots and lots of smiley faces. So lots of love for you in the chat, and
that's very sweet. I like the community is. I miss the community a lot. I miss a lot of my friends that work on Star Wars still, but like I miss the community. It's just different because I don't do anything with the community anymore. But I've also like gotten to know a lot of people in the community, and I have like a lot of love for everybody. So I'm excited and happy for everybody. But
I still, I like to keep tabs and stay in touch on Twitter, but it's not, it's not the same. It's more social as opposed to swugger social now. It's more just,
That's right.
social. Oh, you know, what are you up to? Oh,
Yeah,
new
and it's hard
tattoo.
because I don't only talk about Star Wars. I kept my like opinion of the new movie to myself because I feel like I'm too connected to everything.
Mhm.
And so I try not to only talk about Star Wars, but I still love it, and I still, I just like, also like after working at so concentrated on Star Wars for so long, and then getting a full back tattoo of Star Wars, like I was like, I'm gonna take a little break from Star Wars things. Yeah.
How about we do this? I'm gonna give you a rating system, and you tell me
Okay.
what you would rate Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. It's gonna be
So,
controversial. Go ahead.
out of 5 Death Stars, how many would you give it? 5 being the best Death Stars.
Okay. So 5 Death Stars is a good thing to have 5 Death Stars.
Yes.
Okay. 5.
There you go.
I loved it. I know that people have issues or whatever. I loved it. I cried through the whole thing.
No,
like,
no. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's not unheard of. I mean, I mean, even the Rotten Tomato. I mean, it was in the 80s on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Well, and there's
viewers
that's not to say that I don't
gave
have,
it a high rater.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't. There are things about it that I were like, oh, I didn't understand why they did that, or like I would have done it a little bit differently. But for ending that series of that magnitude, that is so important to so many of us, like I think given the expectations, like I think it just did a great job. I loved it. I really did. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I like everybody else, I had issues with various different aspects of it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I mentioned it to Paul. I think that the biggest thing that I was criticizing it over was the pace for the first half of the movie, because I was late to watching it, and everybody else kept on saying it should have been split into 2, and I didn't understand because I hadn't watched it. And as soon as I finished watching it, I'm like, I get it now, because the first half of the movie, I didn't like the pace or the tempo or the speed. It was too fast. Let's move on to this and then this and then this. And I just kept on thinking to myself, yeah, you know what? It would have been better as 2 movies. It would have been better as a slower paced 2 movie.
I loved the ending though, for me. And I don't know if you're spoiling it for people, but like I loved everything about the last sequences. There was one action that I did not think was necessary. But the rest of it I loved. And then Chewie getting the medal, like for me, that was everything. I was just bawling the whole time. So
Chewie's reaction to the death of a certain character, just in case there's anybody in chat, it was the only point in the movie where I choked up, but that's because I'm emotionally invested in a character like Chewie, because I'm a lover of original trilogy and all of the, I don't know if you've ever read Vector Prime.
I haven't.
You've never read Vector Prime? All right.
I haven't. I know I'm awful. Actually, I haven't read any of the. I'm focused mostly on the digital media that I like. So I haven't read a lot of it, and that's it. Hurt me sometimes because I didn't know what people were talking about in certain specifics. But like, I don't like reading science fiction. If that sounds weird.
That does.
Yeah, I know.
Someone who loves Star Wars not liking other sci-fi.
I don't like reading it. It's something about it. I like watching it. I love.
You like playing it. You like watching it. You just don't like reading it. Yeah. No, I get it. Well, I mean, I read it. The most important chapter of that book that I just mentioned, I read. So it's on my channel. So if you do, if you check out, just do a search for Vector Prime on my channel. You'll find it. Sir Boss asked me to read something from a book, so I read the chapter where something happens to Chewie, and go read it. And
I honestly, someone told me today, it was like, you have to read the Thrawn trilogy, and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna start reading it, because like I do feel it. Like I feel like of all the things, even though I don't like reading science fiction normally, like Star Wars, so I feel like I just need to kind of get into it. But I also needed a break, so like now I'm kind of missing Star Wars again, so I'm like, I can start reading books and rewatching it. And
you're jonesing for a galaxy far, far away, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. With that being said, Carrie, I know you were on your way home. You're probably standing right in your foyer right now. With that being said, I would love for you to help us close the show. You did this 6 months ago.
Okay.
And I would love for you to do it again. Nev, I think it's time for us to go ahead and close up shop here. And
what a show to close on.
Yeah, she's gonna tell you to do a certain thing to a button, but be nice to each other, damn it, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Carrie, take it away.
Wait, what button? Don't push the button.
Tell Nev to push the button.
Nev, push the button.
You got it, Carrie. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.